Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Walls. We're here for a brand new match preview. We're going to be getting into the opposition bit shortly, but I do appreciate you guys stopping back as always. As always, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Wolves are going to be hosting unbeaten Newcastle United. It's 1 win and 2 draws for Eddie Howe's side so far. A really good game for them against Manchester City at the weekend as well. So it's going to be a tough game. Team news as of right now is that pretty much everyone is looking and coming back to full fitness. We saw against Preston on Tuesday. We saw Jimenez and João Moutinho get a good amount of minutes once again, which is great, and Nelson Semedo, which is going to give Bruno Lage plenty of options and players to look at ahead of the game on Sunday. I'll chuck my predicted lineup up on the screen shortly as well. If we hear anything else from Bruno Lage in his press conference on Friday, obviously be sure to follow us on the social medias to find out what else he said. But Wolves are still searching for their first win. It was a promising performance against Tottenham last Saturday, and we do need some sort of reaction now. Bruno Lage is playing a system he wants. He's starting to bring in the players that he wants, and it just all needs to click for Wolves, and we need to start scoring some more goals. But like I said, Newcastle United are a team who are looking very, very strong. They've got some very talented players, and I think that midfield area is probably where the game is going to be won and lost. This is the team that I would go with for the game on Sunday. I'm not going to say predicted lineup, but this is the team I would probably go with. Jose Sarr in goal. You're back to Max Kilman and Nathan Collins again. The fullback one is a difficult one. I've stuck with Aït-Nouri and Johnny for now, but I could so easily see Semedo in there, whether that's with Johnny or whether that's with Aït-Nouri. I'll be intrigued to see. It could be with Aït-Nouri because that's the back four that we did see on Tuesday at Preston. I think it'd be a midfield for him, Moutinho, Nunes and Neves once again. So good to see Nunes play on Tuesday, by the way. And a front three, I think of Neto, Jimenez and Guedes. But that gives Bruno Lage plenty of options in the shape of Podence, Hwang, Adama, and Podence. There's plenty of good options on the bench for Wolves as well. But I did speak to Keg from the Magpie Channel earlier to get his thoughts ahead of the game and get some more insight on this weekend's opponents. So then, guys, delighted to be alongside Keg from the Magpie Channel for the opposition preview today. Keg, firstly, how you keeping, man?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good to see you. Pleasure to be back on Talking Wolves. Yeah, looking forward to talking some Newcastle football with you.
Yeah, no problem. It's been a good start to the season for Newcastle. Obviously, I was going to say a lot of pressure on you, but I don't think there is really. You probably haven't spent as we speak, haven't spent as heavily, I suppose, as a lot of people were expecting. A
Yeah.
big core of your squad is still the same as last year, and we see Newcastle currently sat in their sixth place, unbeaten so far, 1 win and 2 draws. Possibly about to break the transfer record, though. I think it will go through by the time the video is out for Alexander Isak, which we'll talk about a little bit more shortly. But season overall for you, how's it started? How have Newcastle been playing?
We couldn't really be happier, to be honest. It's been really, really good. Opening day of the season, 2-0 win against Nottingham Forest. It was a bit of a tough game, as you would expect from a newly promoted side. Like Forest are a good team. Deserve to be in the Premier League. 23-year absence is far too long for a team like Forest, so it's good to see them back. But they were hard to break down, Forest. They were very resilient at the back, as you would expect, but eventually we came out on top, got the win. A tremendous goal from Fabian Schär and goal threat. Callum Wilson getting one in there as well. The Brighton game away, not the prettiest, to be fair. We probably weren't the better team, but we were really good at the back. So first 2 games of the season without conceding a goal. Only us and Man City done that. So at the back, we're doing very, very well. Where most of the money's come from since the takeover, getting the likes of Dan Burn, Sven Botman, Matt Targett, Kieran Trippier, and Nick Pope, all playing really, really well so far this season. And the big one on Sunday, the Man City game, that was a tremendous game. A win, a draw felt like a win. 3 goals against the champions, 3-1 up. Couldn't have been happier with that. Alan Saint-Maximin, who are basically Adama Traore. We all know between the two of them, the quality they've got, the speed they've got, the skill and everything. Sometimes just lacking end products, but Saint-Maximin was absolutely unplayable, had Kyle Walker on toast. So yeah, absolutely buzzing with the season. Obviously gone through to the next round of the Carabao Cup the other day as well against Tranmere. But The Man City and the Tranmere game, there has been a few casualties as well. So it's been a bit of a tough week despite two very, very good results. But yeah, so far so good. And we have been speaking a lot about the last week of the transfer window. We've got Alexander Isak on imminent coming through the door. And there is potentially going to be another one or maybe even two through the door in the next week. So fingers crossed things will get better.
Yeah, some top signings in there. Obviously, Nick Pope, who we know is a well-established Premier League goalkeeper. Sven Botman, Matt Target, and looking like Alexander Isak as well coming in. From your point of view, Keg, were you expecting? Is this sort of the level of signings you're expecting, or were Newcastle fans expecting a hell of a lot more money to be spent on the squad? Because we know the money that the owners have gone, but I suppose this is a pretty sensible approach that they're taking so far.
Yeah, it's a bit of both, like yes and no to your question, basically. So it was the media basically that were portraying that we were going to buy Mbappe and Haaland and Ronaldo and Messi and all this shit. Like that was never going to happen. Like no realistic Newcastle fan. There might have been a few crazy ones that actually thought that was going to happen, but no, like this is the right approach. Like if you think back to like Man City when they got taken over, they didn't get the like David Silvas and Yaya Toure in week one, like. Like the progress that they were going for, like the Gareth Barrys, like the resilient, like Premier League quality players, which Nick Pope is, like Kieran Trippier. Like it's ridiculous how good Kieran Trippier is when you actually watch him on the ball. His quality, his leadership is ridiculous. Spent a lot of money on Botman, and we will be spending a lot of money, record-breaking transfer on Isak in the next 24 hours. So overall in 2020, including the January transfer window, once Isak's through the door, that's going to put our tally to 200 million, which is a lot of money when you think about this. But just this January transfer window, as we're speaking now, Isak isn't through the door. So we've only spent about 60, 70 million on Botman, Pope, and getting Target through the door on a permanent deal as well. So with a week left of the window, with only them three through, we probably did think we would be getting a lot more, to be honest with you. But like I say, I think there is maybe another couple through the door. So if we have this conversation this time next week, things might be very, very different. But we definitely need a striker through the door who is imminent in Alexander Isak record transfer. And maybe it's another couple. I think a winger we're desperate for. The right side is looking a bit bare. And as we spoke about, some Maximin, sometimes his end product isn't the best. And maybe he's another like attacking midfielder or centre midfielder. But I think defensively, we're sound. Don't really need to put any more money into the back. But yeah, midfield and up front, we could definitely do with one or two more bodies through the door by next Thursday.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that as well. Eddie Howe came to Newcastle last season and did a phenomenal job. Probably, I said to you earlier, it wasn't a manager that I rated massively, but I think the job he's done already at Newcastle is fantastically, and arguably, he's showing a lot of faith in the players that maybe he used last year as well. I know we talked about maybe the amount of signings not being what some fans expected, but what are your opinions on Eddie Howe? How have they changed? When he was appointed, what did you think of him versus now, and how he's getting on at St James's Park?
Well, with Eddie Howe, I've been a fan of him. I think people forget the work that he'd done with Bournemouth, taking them from the pits of League Two, like on the brink of relegation to the Conference, getting them all the way up to the Premier League, a stable Premier League team. I think one top 10 finish. I think the job he's done was absolutely fantastic, but people have short-term memories and only remember his relegation, which I think was imminent. I don't think the financial backing of Bournemouth really had the longevity to stay in the Premier League. But they've spent 2 years in the Championship and they're back up now, so they're doing a pretty good job. Eddie Howe was always on my radar as a potential replacement for Steve Bruce, but that was under Mike Ashley. It was a potentially realistic signing. English manager, probably wouldn't have cost a lot of money, which obviously under Mike Ashley, that was a possibility. Everybody obviously wanted Steve Bruce to be out of the door. Who was available? Eddie Howe was available after leaving Bournemouth. But he turned down Celtic because he didn't really agree with their transfer policy, wasn't really happy with the money spent, so we thought, we'll fucking never get him then. But yeah, once the takeover happened and Steve Bruce got kicked out the door, I think maybe there was a sense of underwhelmingness, if that's a word. We were supposed to be on the brink of getting Unai Emery. That deal seemed to be pretty much wrapped up, but Emery had a last-minute change of heart. And that was the Italian manager as well. That was another guy that we were linked with. I can't remember his name. But yeah, we were linked with quite a few players. But when it was announced as Eddie Howe, we thought, all right, it's not maybe what we thought, but we'll give the board a chance. We'll see what he's about. But you know, it couldn't have been a better pick. Like, he's just been absolutely phenomenal. I love the guy, the way he speaks. Like, he's passionate about not just football, but the club, like the fan base and everything. His philosophies he's installed. It just shows what he can do with a little bit of money. Like I say, he struggled at Bournemouth. He spent a fair bit of money. I think he got a little bit of a stick for a few signings like Jordan Ibe and Dominic Solanke. Maybe overspent a little bit there. So he thought, can he be trusted with 200 billion? It'll be seen. But now, so far, every signing can't be mad at. And the way that we finished last season, I think we're finished 4th in form in the Premier League from the 10th of January. And so far this season, we're unbeaten, only conceded them 3 goals to the Premier League champions. So we've been incredible, and long may Eddie Howe reign at Newcastle for as long as possible, because, yeah, we absolutely love him.
Yeah, and it's obviously a great start to the season, taking that momentum in from the last campaign as well. So how's he setting you guys up, and then going to tell us what your predicted lineup is for the game?
Yeah, so he came in and pretty much installed his own ideas, like from back into Rafa Benitez's time and all the way through Steve Bruce, because Steve Bruce has no ideas of his own. He just copied and pasted Rafa's job. Pretty much played a 5-2-3. I think Eddie Howe's first 2-3 games were still played with a 5 at the back. I think is what he played a few times at Bournemouth. So it was kind of his idea, but it was a little bit reminiscent of the older times, and we needed a lot to change. But we've stuck to a 4-3-3, and it's been phenomenal. There was a lot of talk prior to the Man City game about potentially going back to 5 at the back, because can we deal with the pressure that they're going to bring going forward with the likes of De Bruyne and Haaland and all them, Bernardo Silva? Like, can we deal with it? But he stuck to his guns. He didn't go 5 at the back. Like a lot of people, like, that's a bit of a negative. It's pretty much lying down to play Man City's game. Eddie Howe's got balls. He was like, nah, we're not playing Man City's game. We're going to play Newcastle's game. So 4-3-3, that's the formation that he's been playing. And up front, this will be the big talking one. I think there's an option of 3, although there's probably only one realistic one. The first one being Callum Wilson, our main goal scorer. Picked up a bit of a hamstring injury in the game against Man City. He's had a hamstring injury that we haven't had the official outcome of yet, but reports say he's going to be out for around about 3 weeks. So Callum Wilson's going to be out. Potential debut for Alexander Isak. I think it seems like the deal's probably already done. We're just waiting on an official announcement. But as long as he's registered by midday today, I know this video is coming out on Friday. We're recording this on a Thursday. So as long as he's out as long as he's registered by midday, then Alexander Isak is in with a shout for a debut. But without a proper training session, he might have one training session. I think it's a little bit risky to put Isak in from the start. So I expect Chris Wood, who got on the score sheet for the first time since scoring the winner at St James Park against you guys last season from the penalty spot. Got a header against Tranmere during the week. Got the winner in a 2-1 win. So, Pope, Trippier, Shaw, Botman, Byrne, Willock, Bruno, Joelinton, Almiron, Saint-Maximin, and Wood.
Thank you very much. And as well as this being the Castor derby, it's the Betmate derby as well. We had a good battle against you guys last season rather. Keg did finish at the bottom of the pile, and he had to have a forfeit of wearing a Wolves shirt. I think he's got it there. Look, there we go. I mean, it is beautiful. I think it would suit you nicely. Oh, there we go. Talking about Betmate, though, we've got the pot for this week. It's all the Sunday 2 p.m. games. We spoke a little bit about it earlier in the week on the podcast, but it's a £600 guaranteed payout. The link is in the top of the description to join that one. Very quickly, my team is a little bit of a mix of the couple of games that are on Sunday. So Martinez in goal, Trippier, Johnny, Mateus Nunes, Bruno Guimaraes, Ollie Watkins, and Alan Saint-Maximin. Keg, what's your team for the Betmate this Sunday?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, a couple of our guys who's been great for us this season, keeping some clean sheets. I've got Nick Pope in there, although I'm a very big fan of Jose Sarr, I have to admit, and Emi Martinez is a pretty good shout as well. But yeah, I've gone for Nick Pope and Kieran Trippier, who's always dangerous at potentially getting a goal or an assist. Matty Cash from Aston Villa. I've gone for 3 Villa players. I might need to rework this. I've got John McGinn in midfield alongside your captain this season, Ruben Neves. I've got Ollie Watkins, who's had a pretty good start of the season. And as things stand, I've got Callum Wilson, but as I said, he's probably injured, so I might have to take him out most likely for Sir Maximin.
Yes, perfect. Like I said, guys, be sure to join it. If you use TW5 at sign up, you'll get a bonus £5 as well. And as always, 18 plus gambler aware and UK residents only. And Keg, to finish us off, can you give me a score prediction? Like we said on your channel, it's been historically, or at least since Wolves have been back in the Premier League, a lot of draws. But what are you going for Sunday's game?
Yeah, well, with someone like Jose Sarr at the back, we spoke a little bit about Wolves' team on our channel at the Magpie Channel. Go check out that preview that's out there now. I do expect a tough, resilient game. I think going away from home in the Premier League is always tough. So I'd be reluctant to accept a draw. I think 1-1 would be a decent result, I think, for both of us, if we're honest with ourselves. But the way things have gone this season, we're unbeaten, you're without a win. So I feel like momentum hopefully is with us and we can go and do enough to get a win. So yeah, me head's telling us 1-1, me heart's saying a 2-1 win for the black and white.
There we go. I think it will be a close game either way. Keg, like Keg said, we've done a preview over on the Magpie channel. So if you want to hear my thoughts ahead of the game in a little bit more detail, go and check that one out. But Keg, where else can people find you if they wish?
Yeah, we're at the Magpie channel on YouTube and all across social media. Just search for us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Perfect. Thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, may the best team win on Sunday, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate. It'll be a good game.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you for having us.
So big thanks to Keg and the Magpie channel. I did a little preview over on their channel if you want to check that out as well. Score prediction, I'm going to go with... My head is saying a 1-1. My heart is saying a 1-0 Wolves. But guys, let me know your thoughts on the score prediction as well. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Enjoy your weekend. And come on, you Wolves.